So this video is going to be a little different than the rest. A lot of times on videos they'll show you a component of the engine and then the next thing you know it's off and being taken apart or being replaced. So I'm going to go into depth a little bit about the bell housings that were used on the FJ40 Toyota Land Cruiser. Now this engine right here is an F engine. Came out of a 63 FJ40. There were 3 revisions for the F engine: the 135, the 145, and the 155. This is a 135. Now over here is a 2F engine. 2F engines came into play in 1975. The F engines were used from 1958 through 1974. This is a bell housing for the F engine. You can see it has a slot over here and over here to put the clutch, or to put the clutch fork in. They were made like that so that you could have right-hand drive and left-hand drive. On a left-hand drive, the clutch master is on the left firewall inside the engine compartment, and it's routed around to the right side of the engine over here, where your clutch slave unit is located. The clutch slave unit has a piston that presses onto the clutch wishbone or clutch fork to release your clutch. This bell housing is for a 2F engine. You can see that it's made a little bit different from the F engine bell housing. It still has the 2 openings on the left and the right so that you can have right-hand drive or left-hand drive. The other bell housing was for years 58 through 74. This bell housing was for trucks 75 and later. The back of the engines, the F and the 2F, are identical. So if you wanted to put a 4-speed on an F engine, you can, but you run into a couple problems. This is the transmission cross member, or mid-cross member. You can see it has a bend in it. The bend was put in for 4-speed transmissions to give a little bit more room, because the 4-speed transmission is a little bit longer than the 3-speed transmissions that came with F engines. This is a 1971 FJ40 frame, and you can see that the transmission cross member, or the mid cross member, is straight. Now these are the components that are inside the bell housing. This is an F engine pressure plate, clutch pressure plate. You can tell by the pawls. The pressure plate that's on an F is a little bit different. Anyway, the function is the same. So it has a throwout bearing, and that throwout bearing goes against these pawls. The throwout bearing fits over the transmission. Input shaft and slides on it. There's a clutch fork which goes through the hole. You can see it right there. And that clutch fork inside the bell housing is this pin. And that pin goes in this detent that's in the wishbone or in the clutch fork. When the clutch fork is pushed, it pushes the throwout bearing in against the clutch pressure plate and releases it. This side is the flywheel side. You have the clutch disc on top of that against the flywheel. So when you push those pawls, it releases the pressure of this disc on the flywheel and gives you an opportunity to shift or whatever else you have to do. It takes the power off the transmission. Well, that should be quick and dirty for an explanation on the bell housings. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.